Good afternoon, family and friends. Thanks for popping back into my kitchen with me today. I am going to make a little treat here because my husband's coming home this weekend and it happens to be his birthday Sunday. And so I'm going to put together a fall applesauce bundt cake. He doesn't like just a regular cake, and there's lots of men who don't. So he'd rather have a pie, but he's had things over the years, so I'm going to kind of surprise him with this one. And because the house is all decorated now for fall, and I'm just kind of in the mood for fall on things, that's what I'm going to make for him today. It's a pretty simple, easy cake, just a few little ingredients, and I'd like to get started. I do apologize from my last video if I pronounce something incorrectly or I put in something, mess up on something, you know, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm just a woman in my own little kitchen, doing my own little thing of cooking and showing the young people how to put things together. I'm no chef, I'm no baker, and don't claim to be. I just like to put things together kind of my way. So get that said and out of the way first of all. My little apples on the table, my son and girlfriend went to what's called Apple Fest. It's in Carbondale, close to where I live. And these little apples, oh my gosh, they may not look very big. They're kind of tiny, but they smell wonderful. And they have the nice, crisp, crunchy taste to them. I've had 2 of them now. I don't know what kind they are. It didn't come on the bag what type they are, but boy, I'm glad they brought me these because it just kind of set the scene for fall right off the bat of having nice apples. But we're kind of putting apples, we're putting the applesauce in my cake today. So a couple things. You're going to need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and just put that in just a medium bowl of some kind because we're going to start out with doing the dry ingredients first. So we're going to start with the flour and then 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. That's in my big jug right here. I need to find a smaller one, I think, just for my cinnamon. I've had this thing and use it quite a bit. But I do like to get the big quantity of things when I buy stuff every now and then. Get it clear down here. Okay, so we need 2 of these, 2 teaspoons full of cinnamon. Makes everything smell so good in the kitchen. Really does. Okay, that's out of the way. And then you need 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, the ground nutmeg, which I've had here over here in my supplies over here. I would like to shout out and say thank you to everyone that has responded to what I did yesterday for my son's girlfriend on her party at her place of employment for a lady that was retiring. 25 years of being an interpreter for the courts, and they were giving her a nice little party, and they asked me to bring the videos that I showed you of the wonderful little brownie treats and the bourbon balls and my chocolate pudding cookies. And I'll tell you what, everybody liked it. Everybody liked what I did, and that makes me feel good. It really does, because it was kind of last minute that she asked me to do all of that. Okay, and then we're going to need 1 teaspoon of salt, just regular salt. 1 teaspoon. Kind of read my cheat sheet over here. Yeah, that's it, 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and we're going to just kind of whisk that gently a little bit to get everything incorporated in there. Get that cinnamon all mixed nice with the all-purpose flour. All-purpose flour in there. And we're going to need 1 1/2 tablespoons. That's what this recipe calls for. Not teaspoons, but 1 1/2 tablespoons of the baking powder. Now, if you watch my video on the bourbon balls, this baking powder, wow, it takes me back. If you were to lick your finger and stick it in either baking soda or baking powder, there's a difference. You know, baking soda you put with the water and you can have that for an upset stomach. And but baking powder has a taste all its own. It really does. It's very, very salty tasting. And I can't believe my mother did that back then, but she did. She did. Okay, so again, those are the dry ingredients. And we're just going to mix those just a little bit here. Get that all mixed nice. And we're just going to set that aside for a minute. Don't need that just yet. Now in the mixing bowl of a mixer, whether it's the tabletop or whether you just have a hand mixer, but you do need a mixer of some type. I'm going to show a video on mixers because there's several different mixer styles out there, and especially over the years, I've got a couple to show you. So in this bowl here, now we're going to mix the, pardon me, we're going to mix 1 1/2 cups of sugar, which I have right here. Pour that in there. And we need 1/2 cup of brown sugar. This will make it taste real fall. I really think it will be nice and fall. Just kind of pack that down in there, and then I just like to kind of take a knife and make it even. Put it even in there and put that in there. Okay? And then, our next little project. I've never made this particular bundt cake. I have made an applesauce cake, but not as a bundt cake. Okay, and then we're going to need 1 cup of vegetable oil. So that's this right here. One cup. Pardon me. I think it was our cinnamon. Okay, and we're going to put this in the mixer on low. On low. Get those sugars and the oil mixed up. Low to medium speed. Low to medium speed. Then you'll need 3 eggs at room temperature. My 3 eggs. These you don't have to put in one at a time. Beautiful fall day here today. It's a little overcast. Like it wants to rain or do something, but it hasn't done anything yet, which is all right. Okay, now we're going to stick those in the mixer. And it calls for 1 cup of applesauce. I went to the store and truly I couldn't find a regular jar. Everything is kind of sold out at the grocery store, and that's okay because you know, we're getting towards Halloween time. It's coming up and people like to do all kinds of things with applesauce and apple cider. So I have these little guys. It's the same thing that I'm going to use of the applesauce, but I only need 1 cup. Sometimes these open for me and then sometimes they just don't. So excited to have husband come home this weekend. He's been gone for 2 months. 2 months straight. Yeah. He's ready, I'm ready. And I've got planned a nice dinner for him. He probably will want to go out on his birthday, I don't know. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he just likes that home-cooked meal, and that's okay too. Okay, so there's our 1 cup of the applesauce. And then it calls for 1 cup of the apple cider. Now, when I went to get the apple cider, it was kind of like the applesauce. I just wanted a small little container. I really did. And this is all they have. Great big thing. That's all right. It's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I'm really not too worried about it. Okay, we're going to slow down the mixer just a little bit here. And they want me now to add, on this recipe, the applesauce. All that in there. The apple cider. I can tell you right now, the smell of it is wonderful in the kitchen. It really is. And I need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to start adding slowly the flour mixture. Little bits at a time. It says this batter will be a little runny, thin, you know, runny, so we'll see. Like I said, I have not made this recipe. It just, I'm doing a cookbook. Can you believe it? I am. And I'm already up to 152 recipes that I have typed. And on one of them, this was from a family member, this cake, this bundt cake, applesauce bundt cake. And so I have not made this recipe. But it looked good today. It really did. Just felt fall in the air and have a nice cake when he gets home. Okay. I have preheated my oven to 325. 325. And we are going to put this in a bundt pan that is sprayed with cooking spray and coated lightly with flour. Just a little bit so it's mixed up. It looks very similar to an applesauce cake that I made many years ago. It really does. I'm going to stop my mixer and make sure all of the ingredients on the side are mixed in. Sometimes that flour will fool you and it doesn't want to mix in very well. We'll get that all mixed in. Looking pretty good. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Great day today. When I went to the grocery store this morning to get my fresh apple cider, everybody's out buying, I don't know, just kind of different things for fall in their basket. I mean, they're not out just grocery shopping. You know, a lady had 2 pumpkins in her basket, and of course they are getting ready for Halloween coming up, that they're getting the sale items of all the bags of candy and things like that. I love fall. It's my favorite time of the year. It really is. I really like fall. Okay, so you can't see it, but the batter, you know, kind of just looked like that, which is more, yes, of a cake batter. It's not as thin as what the recipe said it was going to be, but that's all right. Make sure I got all that down in there really good mixed up here. Okay. And then just pour it, you know, evenly into your pan. I like to kind of stop and turn my pan, make sure it's even on this side of the bundt pan. I like bundt cakes, I really do. I like the consistency of them, more so than just even a regular cake. I like all kinds of cakes. I like all kinds of pies, everything. I do have a sweet tooth, I really do. And so does my husband. He likes all kinds of stuff too. So he will like this one. He will. Okay, so that is the cake part. So again, we're going to pop this in a 325 oven for, let's see, I think it was, I'm a cheat sheet here. I think it's 50 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's 50 minutes. And then I will be back to show you after I have it come out of the oven and it's cooled and what else I'm going to do to this little cake, this little fall cake. So I'll be right back. I'm back. The cake's out of the oven. It took a little while for this cake to cool down, but that's okay. So now the final step of what to do on this particular little fall applesauce bundt cake is I have some melted butter in here. I took 1/4 of a cup of melted butter and just melted it in this little dish. And I'm going to do a sugar kind of, not a glaze, but a sugar sprinkle on this cake. And it calls for granulated sugar, but you can use a more coarse granulated sugar. So I brought out what my older son always likes when he comes to my house, which is this, which is a pure cane sugar. It comes in little packages like this, these right here, or it will come whole in the box. This particular one just had the little packages. So I counted out about 12 to come up with 1/4 of a cup of the sugar. I put that in there, and then it calls for 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Gotta have that cinnamon back in there. Yep, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And you just kind of mix that all around in this nice sugar. Like I said, you can use regular sugar if you want to. I'm just opting to do this one today because it's they're bigger little granules of sugar. Okay, and so then what you want to do is you want to just take a pastry brush with your melted butter and go along the cake. Go along the cake and get it where it's nice and buttery so that this sugar sticks to it. Now probably, I mean, this is just for presentation purposes. I probably would have done this on a regular, just a plate, a dinner plate, before I ever put it on the nice decorative plate. But we're gonna see how this goes. I can always clean up the sides of my plate. That's not a problem. Not a problem. So you're just gonna coat the cake all the way around. And then you're gonna take, much like you do if you were putting little sprinkles on your cake. So we'll see how it does on just drizzling it around, first of all. Now you're gonna need a lot more butter on it for this particular recipe. Just really coat that cake with butter to make these little granules stick of the powdered sugar. There we go, that's a little bit better. And I'm gonna continue to do that all around the cake to have a nice fall looking pretty cake. I hope husband will like it, I think he will. So this is my video today of showing you the fall applesauce bundt cake. I hope you go out and make one for yourself. I can't even tell you how wonderful my kitchen smells right now with all this, the apples and the cinnamon smell. It really smells good. From my kitchen to yours, have a great fall afternoon. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye now.